Hello, Broadway. That was a really good sound effect timing with the music ending. You made it. It's it's good because I haven't streamed in like a week, or maybe more. I have I've just been really tired again. Uh, did have some stuff I want to talk about. Thank you for the resub, by the way, Broadway. Yeah, I've been pretty tired. And not super... not super energized. So I haven't been doing much the past, week and a half. But I've wanted to stream this game for, that same amount of week and a half. And I was going to do it yesterday. But, I kept getting held up by stuff, and I still got held up today. I wanted to start 30 minutes ago. I couldn't. These long, hot days have been exhausting. Aren't you in Alaska? The coldest place in existence? Does it even get hot in Alaska? Hot in Alaska is 60 degrees. I think yesterday would have been better because it's been 80. Wait, it can get that hot over there? Holy shit. That's torture to Alaskan wildlife. Oh, you're basically in a rainforest? I guess that makes sense. It's, I think it got to 90-ish one day, but it hasn't been super hot yet. Normally we get pretty bad summers where it can get over 100, and we don't have any air conditioning, so it's awful. But thankfully that hasn't happened yet. Usually it would hit at this point, but July is probably gonna be bad. So July, it depends. I've streamed some summers, and that was also when I had a PC that could already overheat. There were times when I couldn't stream for 15 minutes. Oh, thankfully my PC is well cooled now. But I am not going to be well cooled, and I'm not going to stream if it's over 100 degrees. I just don't think I can handle that. Your old friend lives north of Spokane. Yeah, I bet if I was on the coast of Washington, it'd be better. But as it stands now, no. It gets way too hot over here. Okay. I think I can start. So, this game, I have a little preface story, actually. I shouldn't have. Well, okay, it's not going to take that long. So, I don't know when this came out. Why do you always stream when I'm at work? This is really how you treat your number one fan. I give you $5 a month. How dare you not revolve your stream schedule around my work schedule? Literally every time I stream, you say you're at work. I feel like you're at work every day of the week, and that's probably true. So, thank you for the resub, James. How has it been 2 years? Because I don't feel like I've been partnered that long. Anyway, this game came out in 2015. I watched like a full video playthrough. Yes, I am. Help me. Get me out. I watched like a full video playthrough of this game when it came out. So like I saw the whole thing, right? But that was 7 years ago. I don't remember like anything about this game. I just remember that it's kind of sad. It's about creating things, and I wanted to actually play it for myself. I wanted to re-experience it, and can you turn on subtitles for yourself? I don't know how that would work on Twitch. I have to have every like 5 seconds I need to switch to a black screen with text on it, like those old silent films. I have to write out the text myself because there's no like live closed captioning. That'll take a lot. This is also made by the creators of the Stanley Parable. I think it was after the Stanley Parable, because otherwise I don't think that would be a selling point. So I think it's good. I don't remember. That'd be a funny gimmick to make you famous. I'll be just like Germa. I'm turning up the volume a little bit. Okay. Closed captioning. Well, look, I can turn on. Okay, there's closed captioning. Oh, there's probably already subtitles. There's not gonna be subtitles for me though. Why am I going through the fucking details here? Yes, I want laptop power saving mode. Okay. Please make sure audio's on. Sorry, James.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Is this game going to teach me how to begin?
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the...
Fuck. Okay. That sensitivity is way too high. Okay, closed captioning. It was also supposed to be white. Hello, Cookie. Check your DMs in a while. I'll fucking check them right now. I don't care. Oh, okay. Never mind. This is something separate, not related to stream. Okay. Right. Basically, Cookie, I'll just repeat. I saw the game in 2015. I don't remember anything, and I'm just here to re-experience it.
The basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder.
This dude is like a English literature teacher picking apart the color of the curtains. Okay, I have full captions on. Whatever.
What was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveyWreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was
This guy talks a lot. And now I'm worried that I'm not going to have a lot of opportunities to speak. So I might just pause it every now and then. But he has been like going off for like a solid 2 straight minutes. So this just might be what the stream is. But hello, Flaky and Mr. Distraction.
This first one was made in November 2008.
And I also tried to enable subtitles, but they are not on. So I am taller than this door.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper.
There they are.
And it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
I can't shoot anymore. I think I ran out of ammo. This is just like Deus Ex or whatever that game is.
Security call breached.
The gun kind of, I like the way that moves.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin
Day 3 of the new house. Knees weak, arms heavy, stressful, sad, and excited times. Thanks for streaming. Oh, well, thanks for showing up. My My knees are
I
weak and
love
my
how you
arms
can
are
see the bottom
spaghetti.
of the universe from this room.
I love how it's jank as fuck and isn't polished. Yeah, okay, man. Guilty Gears just want money? No, sorry, I'm not a capitalist.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
No, I want to explore the labyrinth. Hey, fuck you. I'm going back.
Or, if you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Yeah, a lot of this is like, intentionally jank and unpolished. What the hell? Oh. I think I solved the labyrinth. Yeah. What's this random rundown of the game? Basically, the story is that there's this guy who found these games from another developer, and he is just like analyzing them. That's what the narrator. This is, so it's like a collection of those, and this is made by the same people who made the Stanley Parable, and it's a game about creating things. And I don't really remember everything that happened. I don't really remember anything that happens. So, but I did see it when it came out.
This is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, why not?
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. Oh.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it, like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
And now I'm in the back rooms. I can't move. Is this intentional?
Yep.
Oh.
In this game, you can only walk backwards. So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Oh, this is cool. That reminds me of Nascency.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Okay. I'm playing like Slender on -5 FOV. No, I wanna go back. Fuck you. Ah. Whenever a game like plops me into something and wants me to walk forward, I always like to go backwards and see what happened. Slender.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be
Okay.
clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
This dude is trying to gaslight me into thinking these games have meaning.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I'm getting slower as I'm climbing the staircase.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
No, I think we're just gonna sit here for 5 minutes. I'm gonna play the game as intended. Because that is the right thing to do. This might be I think this is faster. Oh shit, I just bounced backwards. Fuck. Holy shit, this is faster. I'm fucking bunny hopping at like -5 miles per hour. While we were on the stairs, how are you holding up? I've been really tired lately, and I have not been super motivated. Holy shit, I made it. I'm still fucking slow. You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs to strategically make the most money before you die.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games. Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Play as the camera filming an advertisement, walking around on set, filming whatever you like. Press U to surrender. Well, that took me to Ready, Set, Fish. Shit. What does this have to do with fishing?
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Yeah, this is tough. I did it. Well, fuck, I'm stuck now. Oh.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
New fish. Yeah, so it's like there was like a solid week I was really like bashing my head into FL Studio because I really wanted to start making music, but I was having so much trouble with it. and still, like, I haven't opened it for about a week because I don't know what to do. Joke's on you. I am the fish. I am the I am the fish. That's what it means. Ready, set, fish.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Jesus.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Oh, it says you are now exiting.
So this,
Okay.
combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The meanings, it's to game. I need to game. I need to gaming. God, this is blinding. I can't walk any further back.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's
My terminally online eyes are not fit for this much light.
called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development. To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Toilet. Look at this fucking, like,
The tools available to the
cyberpunk
creator shape
toilet.
what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
I'm gonna say this looks like source. I imagine you meant to say source. Yeah, I fucking made it. What are you talking about, James? I know you can't hear me, but you always come into stream and you just say random shit and nobody knows what you're talking about. Art museum toilet that has rectangular shits in it. I'm a fucking god. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Oh. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Eh, it doesn't matter. I could just drop that entire way down. This is cool though. And now we're in Half-Life 2. Okay, this was one of the few things I remember this like hallway when I watched the game. Hunt down the Freeman subway level. No, no, no. I do not want to go. I do not want to be stopped by this game. Fuck you. I want to go past there. Does enter do anything? No. Are there any,
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
I don't remember anything from the beginner's guide. I remember watching someone play it years ago. Yeah, I wonder what happens if I just sit here. We're gonna play the game as intended. Okay? No, none of this cheating bullshit, okay? I'm gonna wait a damn hour. Yeah, I also watched a playthrough of it when it came out, but I don't remember, like, anything, and that's why I want to re-experience it. I hope it only lasts, like, a couple hours. I don't think it should. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to say. Fuck. Goddamn.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
I like the whole architecture of this place. I mean, obviously, like, I wouldn't want to live here. Play Cookie Clicker while you wait the hour away. That would be a good bit. If there's ever a game where it's like you have to wait a certain amount of time for this thing to happen, we're just gonna go to Cookie Clicker. One of the games just has a picture of someone's balls in it. I don't remember that. Now we've been teleported. This is just like Nascency. It's the 3 holes again.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over.
He just likes recycling.
I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Yeah, he just likes to recycle. He doesn't want to waste his time. It's valid. You there? Did you come from
Here,
above?
Coda begins
What was
using
up
a
there?
kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
That's the one above. You've been there. Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the thing I did before coming here. Perfect. Now tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. You don't want to go over there. But I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. Sorry, bud. Good luck with that. Puzzles his versions of the FromSoft sword. How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? No. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can see in the back black space in the middle. Who are you? Just go hang out there in that blackness for a bit. You may not like it at first, but it'll grow on you eventually. Okay. Alright, buddy. I haven't been to like any of your streams properly for a while. It's okay, I haven't streamed for like a week and a half.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
I have been trying to stream at better times for everybody, too. Now I'm in the Gmod map.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to.
This game is an
reference
SCP.
point. He wants the work leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
I remember the lamppost too. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. I'm sure all notes I see are left by other players, and I'm sure there's a lot of people playing this right now. I've actually been getting back into SCP stuff a lot lately, too. Nice room. Not. See, I know I can't leave these notes because there's no chat function. It's just like Dark Souls. Hello, Cherry. Welcome.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
I have to use them for my advantage.
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen
This
if you read
place
all of
makes
them.
me sad.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be
Balls. Bart wasn't lying. I just hope the guy just ends
But
up
it's
developing
ironic,
a
isn't
game
it,
like
that
Clicker.
in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I just saw a flying penguin. Let me tell you, it's the most majestic thing I've ever seen. I don't feel like living because nothing will ever be as majestic as that. I never want to see again if nothing will ever be that beautiful again. I am crying now and plan on ripping my eyes out. I must go now do that. Screen shitted. First instinct saying balls. It is a screenshot. In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer, you will believe blue speech bubbles can't talk. This... okay. You know, everyone talks about, like... Let me read these notes first. So, you know, everyone talks about, oh, when I first started playing Elden Ring, and I opened up the cavern door, it was like, holy shit moment. Well, for me, this gave me more of a holy shit moment than the start of Elden Ring did. I don't know why. I find that kind of funny. I could fall down there. I'm gonna read all these notes. I hope there's another one that says balls. What the shit is this cavern? I can assure you, guaranteed that there's an acorn somewhere here in this place, and the sailor. Okay, all right. That's a James message. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's because it looks like the inside of an old game where you can see the later part of the level and you like that. It's your crack cocaine. Yeah, it's not like Elden Ring where it's just like a field you can stand in. Got a lot of Elden Ring slander in this stream. A bunch of people are gonna get mad at me. Okay. So, let's go up here. Ah, fuck, I can't. Damn it. Okay, well, that sucks. I can't fall. Did you remove metal bar sound effects? I wanted to jump scare you. I removed them for this stream because I wanted it to be more chill. I didn't want to get jump scared by metal pipe falling sound effects. Sorry. Elden Ring realistically is like a 7.5 out of 10. I don't know what I would rate Elden Ring. All I know is that I didn't want to finish it. I was really interested in like the middle part of the game when you get to like Liurnia, and that was the strongest part of the game. And then Leyndell was a little disappointing. That's pretty much. No metal bar. Don't listen to that guy. This is effectively the liar ahead message. Door how open? Door stuck! Who is door? Someday I'll meet the person who made this. Oh, I thought they meant person who reads that. And this is fucking cool. I would like very much to be desired. Yeah, me too, Dark Souls note, me too. You must love that one Ceresus area where in the Ivory Tower you can see the maps you have ascended past below you. I don't remember that. But yes, I would. Game where you leave notes and suddenly everybody's a poet. It's like James in my Twitch chat. This is where I... Still can't fall. Let's jump together. Fuck, hidden path ahead. Try jumping. Take the plunge, you won't die. Is this the balls painting? Just to read the notes on this one, it doesn't have to be constant. I'm not safe. I'm gonna read funny notes in the JC Denton voice. Why isn't Sippy coming back in stock? Does it not work? Cherry redeemed Sippy. Maybe you just redeemed it so many times. Church is like, no! You can't do that. Whoever made this has issues. I'm sorry, Cookie. I don't know why. I only set a limit for like once per minute. Water intoxication. Art. From up here, it just looks like dots. Yeah, no shit. Cabbage shapes our nation. Wait, two of these notes say Devil Tower Star. There was one stream, Sherry, when I didn't have a cooldown. There was like 17 hydrates at once. And chat made me drink all of that water. More room.
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Nothing. He's
Each of
from
these
Soft.
games represents an
This is
idea
Dark
that was on
Souls.
Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Almost there. There's the 3 dots again. Okay. There haven't been very many funny notes. So, I'll give you one thing. Balls. There you go. There's balls in my shitty JC Denton voice.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle
What
that he
balls to
knows
come back?
has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
These people are fucking stupid. They literally figured it out first in a second.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment,
It's
a
not
few
so bad in
seconds
here.
to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
There's one note. I did it. This is the weak didn't expect a weak foe message. Fuck. How do you leave notes? James, oh my god, stop fucking saying random shit
this one
in
is
the
tough.
chat, man.
It's gonna kind of just spin its
can't
own
even
wheels for a
fucking hear
few
me.
minutes. Hang with it.
Nobody knows what you're talking about. Instead of inflating your followers, your followers inflated you with water. I don't think Coda is pretentious. I think the narrator is pretentious, trying to attach meaning to everything. Like the door puzzle. The door puzzle represents his fear of going outside. Inflate him. Don't inflate me. Please. That is the last thing I want. As just to be looking like a VR chat level. The narrator being an English teacher. I said that at the beginning, and yeah, it's entirely true. This is like soft bass. It's like, it's trying to... Oh, okay.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Best $30 I've ever spent. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Put a hole in the ground. Okay, you weren't fucking listening to me. Hello, Jack. What along the wall? 10 stoves lined up. Okay. That's close. Live Tesla corners in each corner. Is 16 I don't think 16 subs is $130. If they're $5 each, that would be $80. Right? Or am I stupid? Who are you? What are you doing with my house? Oh. Now I'm in the infinite IKEA.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Oh, platforming god.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
130 with gift subs. Probably, yeah. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Carver, would you play SCP games? If they were good, yeah. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Turn the floor lamp in this room off and turn it back on. Left side sofa. Move it over a little. Touch the shelves. Finally, touch grass. In a real prison, the escape will now open. They are good. Unlike Containment Breach. Containment Breach is good. What are you talking about? Containment Breach is the only good one. Implying Containment Breach is a bad game.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Release the homophobic and racist cut. Jack and I played Security Breach, Containment Breach multiplayer. And 049 was so fucking broken that he spawned like every 2 minutes. He was almost constantly chasing us after we spawned him into the game. And it ruined part of the fun. But I think Containment Breach is a good game. It's probably one of the only good SCP games. And that last SCP game I played on stream was really bad. Yeah. I was trying to show Jack like deaths with the cowbell and the yeah. Pay for an audio setup, like $200 audio hub, and it just cuts out randomly. Balls. Anyway, when did I cut off? His wife walked into the room, so he had to mute himself beating her. Do I have sound back? I don't have sound back. You cut off when talking about the cowbell. Fuck. Anyway. Now only if James was a one, right? Okay, what is your question about the Plague Doctor? Did you take the Plague Doctor on a date, though? As long as he didn't try to kill me. Hell yeah. Anyway. I was... Jack and I was trying to show him the cowbell and the World War II skull. And both times, 049 just cucked us. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through this whole thing. Wait, what?
Okay, this one is
excuse
tough.
me?
It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
What? That's not what he said last time. Excuse me? And also the title, was that the title last time? Porn stars aren't immortal? SMH my head. Over 9 followed me into the scripted World War II flashback. Yeah, he was everywhere. He was constantly up our ass, and he ruined like part of the experience. He was more aggressive than
See,
normal.
like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Did you see that 8963 has the fattest dump you ever see? So much that it'll kill you. Plague Doctor up the ass doesn't sound so bad. SMH my head. Listen. That the second that massive Plague Doctor schlong touches you, you're dead. Like you just instant
There's a
brain
bit
death.
more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake. So okay, he throws it out and starts
Which is
over.
8963
This time it comes at the prison
again?
idea
I don't
from a
know.
different direction.
I don't think one exists. I don't think they've gotten that far. And it's kind of funny, like, SCP, like, 0 to 2000 is, you gradually get, like, more and more deadly, like, up to where, like, SCP-2000 is, like, this thing will hunt you down and kill you if you breathe in front of it wrong. And then once you get through, like, once you get to, like, the 6000, you know, I don't know who these 2 gift subs are. I don't know who those 2 people are. God fucking damn it, Twitch. Can you just be normal? SCP-4 negative 483 will tickle. Aqua was from the RE1 arc. I did the RE1 arc on YouTube. Anyway, once you get, like, to SCP-6000, it's like a holy biblical tale about, like, a tree.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
So it's not a prison game. Oh god, where am I? Oh, okay. I hope there's an SCP that's just like a haunted foreskin or something. The beauty is that you can write that story yourself, and then it's canon, technically. So, you can make it exist. Is Coda a dog or something? Coda is the supposed developer of these games. It's me from after you escaped the prison. You're me? You're trapped in the prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
You feel any different? Sometimes I'm scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. SCP that makes you a Dream fan? That's the worst fate of all. When I was washing the dishes this morning, I thought up an SCP that makes you enjoy Imagine Dragon music and defends its quality violently. Anyone affected by the mimetic effects of SCP-1183 need to be terminated on site. They cannot allow their Imagine Dragons fan base to expand any further. If you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? All you have to do is be sincere. That meme version of Imagine Dragons Radioactive is so fucking funny. I think I recited it in front of Jack one time and he didn't understand what I was talking about. He looked at me like I was crazy. Sincere about what? SCP that makes you think women are real? Shit, am I infected?
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
I don't, doesn't do anything for me.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I remember this one too. This is a nice house.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Things will be okay, Cryville, you have us. Oh god, I'm fucked. House flipper bed. Thought I might have to clean this entire house all by myself, and right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes. And lousy homes make home.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Hold on, this sink is fucking thick. It is a thick sink. Oh my god. Agony. Hold on. Is it the I wipe my ass and slap my nuts version? HD toilet, a house flipper bed. Straighten out the rug a little bit? Okay. reckon I feel calm that rests in a pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is all that matters. Oh, and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa there? Fucking do it yourself. Looks like someone spilled a drink on the couch. Mop it up. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Okay. Dot dot dot. Ellipses. No. It was stupid, sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last I checked, the tub needed cleaning. Well, you scrub it down, bet you can. No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Man, these faucets, fucking dummy thick. Books still scattered on the floor of the bedroom? I don't think they were like that before. But there you go. Perfect. How about you come and clean these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been that happy.
He walked around with a constant smile on his face.
And this guy should play House Flipper. Earlier when I said I had a cheesy thought, I was going to say it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, it takes care of you. Heh. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. It's a weird thing to say to someone you just met. Bro took a shower and his health improved immensely. I cannot attest, it doesn't work like that. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books, would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, these pillows over the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he found some peace.
League players should take a hint. Question. Do you enjoy
of course,
this?
It can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
The only issue with this part is the music's getting slightly bothersome. Yeah, it's really, it looped really quickly, but now it's depressing again. Now no more showers.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. It was to waste money. You came here to be perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right? Don't you want to make your friends jealous? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself? Pray to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful. I intend to make you into that person. I want you to make your friends feel like shit. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how we do it effortlessly. This is easy. It was so easy. It is easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. Oh, fucking hell.
and you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
There's no truth, there is no path. If I'm not a good teacher.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the most relatable experiences that
It's just how I remember uni.
to assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
Prison furniture.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Well, it's a big environment so far. Now I am playing Theater Kid Simulator. Bro saw a black hole and said relatable. Yeah, same, bro. As he hears the screams of the damned. Alright. Fucking hell. I don't need the metal pipe to jump scare me. This scene you'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First you started leaning against the wall. Yeah, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph professionally. Is there one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed? Go on, say something to her. Where's the bathroom? What are you doing? You're deflecting. You're not saying what's actually on your mind. Stop dancing around and have a conversation with the person. Do it again. I like you. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just at one moment, but I was confident. It means that you need a better feel for the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. There are codes that bounce when you touch them. Represent the people nearby. I'll talk to her again. Do you know that there's a story where SCP-049 lays an egg? Sounds like a fanfic. Right, even the game where you change the size of things from the back view of the stage. There's a game like Superliminal where you change the size of things. So work really hard to get where you are. You're messing it up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you truly realize how important this was to me? I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. All of SCP media was fanfic. Yeah, but at 049 laying an egg is like middle school tier horny fanfic. This is ominous. SCP lore gonna get real goofy. Oh fuck. This is what
ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Damn, Coda just like me, for real.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
I want to know who the father is. You, the reader. Morbius tip: to play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Help, I'm blind. That's how cats feel. Capture, spay, neuter cage. I'm just like a cat for real. Oh god. This is definitely just leading to Coda eventually making Hoonie Pop or something.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already. It's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise. And there is a solution, by the way.
Oh.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Cookie, you know, I said this was a nice game. I lied. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. Lied how? It's a depressing game. When I create, I feel empty. Oh no! What's happened? Did something change? There's a machine that kept me going and it stopped. You're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for? Because from my perspective at the time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
First you have to open the door. Okay, now what? Now you have to close the first door. Just press the switch here. We're so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
There's no machine here. You'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Sure, making games is easy. Ah, that feels wonderful. That wasn't true. Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful. Keep going.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering.
Just never stop creating, you'll never feel bad. Every time I make something, I feel better about myself.
This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
I'm going to vomit. Good night, Bart. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Continue. Any sacrifice made for my work was worth it 100% at the time. Yes, more. Keep going.
I don't know.
Lie to your audience.
I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this. I just knew it would be depressing. I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Just be warned that someone called the press, so he might have a bit of attention on this one. So one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Press, 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 press. What will be done with the machine? To poison escape. Could you wait a minute for a second? Where is the machine? Do you know where it is? What are your... Fuck off. I don't talk to the press.
And of course, it's the machine.
For pigs. You stopped. You stopped feeding us. I would possibly go back to trusting you with the job. It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. fart machine. Fuck you, Cookie. This is a moment here, okay? Nothing? He's just... I refuse to believe. I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. It falls on me to deliver bad news. Machine refuses. Machine will not apologize to us. You'll find the light. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let's show it we are not failures. Sure, we'll destroy the machine. What if I am the machine? What if I'm the fart machine? Holy okay. America be like... I'll make sure your work dies here.
So
Is that
now
what
the
you're
work
scared
is
of?
becoming
Oh.
self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
Oh god.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realized that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for it? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Trying to write balls, but the gun is too big.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Put down your weapon. I don't have one. Oh.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy, so beautifully, beautifully happy. So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
I'm really immersed in the game. But also, the amount of like black screen. My monitor is really fucking dirty. It just makes me realize.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Stinky monitor. No, it just like has a lot of like, I don't know, spots on it. Like if someone just like splashed a paint drop or paintbrush of water and let the water drops dry.
Has a maze in it.
Yeah, my monitor needs to take a shower.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
I don't know if this is even solvable. Like, fuck this. We're playing the game as intended. Yep. If I just drop off in the middle. Okay. Damn, this is just like Shadow Tower for real.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
I like all the like brutalist structures in this game.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
Haha, boobs. Fuck.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
I feel like this game is
Was
like...
I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why.
I feel like this game is about two kinds of people. At first, you don't really see it in the narrator, but he is really overbearing, where he feels like he needs to like do something for other people.
It's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years, I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Finally, he points out the 3 dots.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else.
Not this guy forming a delusional parasocial relationship.
Other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
So he's kind of projecting onto... Genius, what's the point in explaining art if you're the artist making abstract stuff? I don't think he was projecting at first, but like this stage he is. What I miss, everyone and their mom and grandmother decided to show up. This is the last game. The last couple were like self-destructive, like I don't feel good about creating anymore kind of games. And now this one is the last one, and this guy is like, I couldn't fix him. It's like, yeah.
Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
Thank you for your answer to my games. I need to ask you to not speak to me anymore.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... it felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you.
And the people who played
Alright,
them,
just cut me off, narrator.
they
Fuck
treated
you.
me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is yours not to give? Violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them? Would you simply let them be what they are?
And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all.
Ah, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. Well, well, well.
What does that mean?
When I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than me. Get owned, loser. Sorry, Coda, I can no longer relate. Realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine. You're not my problem to solve. But I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing that you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me?
Yes.
Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Coda, I finally get what you mean. And now to say that I'm sorry, I'm gonna do the exact thing you don't want me to do.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
Bro needs to buy Unity for himself. Imagine you boot up Resident Evil. You open up the Spencer Mansion, it's just like this. It's one room in the corner. It's just the most depressing fucking mansion I've ever seen. I'm walking on vomit marble.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Sand. not a far stretch from the original RE1. There's just a couple more doors in the original RE1. I can actually walk backwards. Oh, not anymore.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
Speaking of which, we put the OG RE on PS4 a week ago. Yeah, that's cool.
What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
And now we are our own narrator. Finally. We are now in the desert level of nascency. That means the game's about to end. Yeah, this is where you fall down the long hole in nascency. If I don't go through this doorway, I will be crushed, hopefully. Let's see, is it gonna... No, it doesn't keep moving, damn. And we're back here. Back in the Half-Life 2 subway area. Hunt down the Freeman. I've never played Hunt Down the Freeman. I don't know if I should. But it's good, right? It's good. Yeah, I heard it's really good. I wonder what's gonna happen if I'm gonna start floating. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. This is definitely where I just was. I don't know what this is supposed to represent.
Turn back.
Oh, is this copyrighted?
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going.
I just got back. Did he finally buy Unity for himself? Audio Jungle. I turned it down and it's still loud as me.
And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back. Turn back.
Maybe he did buy Unity for himself. But if he bought Unity for himself, then he'd still be looking for external validation. And I think the narrator finally learned what he did wrong. Well, it skips like goes from chapter 12. Oh, okay, 13. I thought that said chapter 18. I was like, wait a minute. Well, that Morbius. I think the exact same thing. That didn't go where I thought it would at the end. I feel like the narrator, like, maybe in the context of the game, I don't know if, like, I don't think these are two real people. I think it's just like the story the game was trying to tell. But in context of, like, the game story, it doesn't feel like Mobius. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like these 3 chapters were Coda. It feels like they were just like they could have easily been made or modified by the narrator, and to create for him to keep going with this narrative of the kind of person he thinks Coda is, because they feel kind of out of place. Game theory moment. But it doesn't exactly... I thought it would end differently. Coda does say the narrator... Yeah. That's why I think, like, those 3 chapters feel really out of place, because he could have just changed it. But, you know, Got this nice royalty-free ocean ambience. Plagiarism moment, win. Damn, game development really is a nightmare for real. It kind of sucks because, like, we don't have, like, a clear picture of, like, how Coda would feel about their games or how they actually feel, because the narrator kind of skewed that, and we don't get, like, a solid answer afterwards of how Coda actually felt. Because the narrator at one point is just at a loss that maybe Coda just likes prisons. I feel like game making still was an outlet for Coda because that's kind of what was said in the tower. So to an extent, maybe the stuff in these 3 chapters is still, like, real or, like, in the context of the story. But we just don't know how he feels. So it's weird. It just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel fully satisfying at the end. But at least the narrator is like, yeah, I'm kind of a shitter. Well, that was the beginner's guide. Kind of like how it's open, and it kind of feels like how stuff feels in real life with art. Yeah. The narrator went to look at his Coda jar and contemplate life. What is that? What do you mean, Coda jar? Anyway, it's hot. I'm a little tired. That's probably gonna be it for today. Thanks for joining me. He's so in love with the idea of Coda. Oh, so okay, yeah. I was not wanting to assume that's what you meant by Coda jar, but unfortunately, that is what you mean by Coda jar. Personal interpretations are good, but I don't like it when people put words into the other's mouths as if they said it themselves. Nap time for cry. I'm not even gonna take a nap. I'm just gonna, like, sit and, I don't know, weep. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Stare at art of Crybug for a while to not cry. The creature ever. I wish to see more. I wish I got to see more. Well, I'm sorry. The VOD will exist. I don't know if I'll make a highlight of this, because it's kind of like a story-driven game, so... I did not talk, I did not funny very much. I didn't plan on it, but I I didn't, so... Alright, goodbye everybody. Thank you for stopping by.